Good morning, Empower Her Oasis. And so I am just coming to you with a very quick message this morning. And my message is, if it don't fit, don't force it. Do y'all remember that song from back in the day? If it don't fit, don't force it, just relax and let it go. Do y'all remember that song? When I tell y'all, that's the tea that I'm drinking in 2025. If it don't fit, I'm not forcing it. I'm not forcing friendships. I'm not forcing relationships. And I most definitely am not forcing a business to take my money who do not want it, okay? Let me tell y'all what happened to me this weekend, because y'all know it was a method behind my madness when I first started this video. So my husband and I, we were in Minnesota this weekend for a 60-year birthday party, right? And so our flight was leaving out on Sunday, so we decided to bump around and do some touristy things like we do when we're out of town. And so, y'all, the weather was cold. Do you hear me? So we decided to find something to do indoors. So I was like, hey, we still got like 4 more hours before our flight leave. Let's just go get some manis and petties, and we won't have to be out here in this cold air. So let me tell y'all my trick when I go out of town, because people be asking me all the time, how do you find all of the things to do that y'all be doing? Google, girl. TikTok, child, right? So I would actually type in top 3 things to do, top 3 places to eat, top 3 places to see, whatever. And so since we were looking for some manis and petties, I went to TikTok and I typed in the top 3 nail spas in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And so a place called Luxor Nails, Luxer, came up as number 1. So I looked, went to their website. I said, oh, this is a very nice looking place. And then it was in Maple Grove, and anybody who stays in Minnesota know Maple Grove is a very nice area. So that wasn't my first time in Minnesota. So, okay, we can do this. So we drive over to the nail place. And so as we were about to get out the car, my husband gets a phone call, right? And so I said, well, I'll go ahead and go in and put our name on the list, right? And so I go in, me and this lady, we meet at the door. I went ahead and let her go in front of me. So she walks up to her counter. A gentleman who was doing a lady nails, he got up, he stopped doing her nails. He got up, he said, how can I help you? She said, I want to get my nails done. He said, do you have an appointment? She said, no, I do not. He said, well, go ahead and sign into the kiosk, and have a seat, and we'll be with you shortly. Okay. So she signed in, she went, had her seat. And so I just stood there for a few minutes waiting for them to do the same thing. Nobody ever got up. I said, maybe I just need to sign into the kiosk. Because, you know, in most nail shops, they have the little iPad-looking kiosk, and you just put your phone number and name in, and then they'll call you up next on the list, right? You tell them what kind of treatment or what kind of service you want. Y'all know how it goes at the nail shop. And so I stood there for a few minutes, and so I said, well, maybe I can just go ahead and just sign into the kiosk. So I began typing in my phone number. And so this gentleman jumps up and he said, what are you doing? And y'all, he was so rude and so nasty. I was really taken back by his demeanor, right? But I obliged him. I said, I'm signing into a kiosk. Is this where I sign in to get service? He said, well, what do you want? What do you want? That's what he did, his hands like that. What do you want? What do you want? Now, in my mind, I'm thinking, I just walked into a nail shop. What could I possibly want? My nails done? My feet, perhaps? That's what I'm saying in my mind. But I said, I want to get my nails done. Just like the lady before me, the same thing. She says, I want to get my nails done. At this point, my husband hadn't even walked in, so they didn't even know it was a second person. And so he said, and this is no lie, y'all. This man said, look around, look around. We're very busy. We're very busy. We can't take care of you today. We can't take care of you today. I said, okay. Y'all, I did it in about face. And I walked my little self on out of that establishment, right? So as I'm coming out, my husband is getting out of the car. And he said, what's wrong? I said, they can't take care of us today. They can't take care of us today. Too busy. And I'm just marking the man. So he started laughing. I started laughing. And we get into the car. And I tell him what happened in the nail spot. And keep in mind, he never asked me. First of all, he never even spoke and said, hey, how you doing? Absolutely no customer service, right? To me anyway. He never even asked if I had an appointment, because I could have had an appointment while he was telling me they were too busy. Just like they asked the other lady, did she have an appointment? And she said no. I could have actually had an appointment, but I was never asked that question. Never asked how I was doing, or I'm so sorry we can't get to you today, or maybe you can come back in a few hours, or maybe you can come back tomorrow. None of that, right? And so I told my husband, my husband asked me, he said, so when he said that, what did you say? I said, okay. And I did an about face, because I told him about the tea that I'm sipping. And that tea is, if it don't fit, don't force it. Just relax and let it go, right? Because I'm not about to argue with you to take my money, right? Now, I have done that in the past, but that's not what I'm on in this season of my life. And I know a couple of years ago, and that's probably why it shocked my husband, a couple of years ago, something similar happened to me and my daughter. We were staying at this Atlanta hotel, and we went down for breakfast. Philip was like, I'm going to just lay in. Y'all go eat breakfast. I'm not hungry. So Jalen and I, we went downstairs to eat breakfast. Same situation. A lady was in front of me. She had 2 kids. She went up to the hostess stand. She was like, table for 3. They ushered her and her 2 kids on in. No questions, nothing said. They just got their little menus and ushered them in. So I'm next up at the little podium, and the lady came and she said, how can I help you? I said, table for 2. And the lady instantly, you all, she said, oh, just so you know, down the block, and y'all probably seen this whole Facebook video that I did, because I was really irritated that day. And she said, just so you know, there's a cheaper breakfast place a block down the street. Keep in mind, I never asked her for a cheaper breakfast place, never asked her for any recommendations. All your girl asked for was a table for 2. And so when she said that, Jalen looked at me, I looked at Jalen, like, a cheaper breakfast place? We wanted to eat here. So when she said that, I said, no, we'll do a table for 2 here. And when she said cheaper place, I already knew where she was going. So to try to give her a hint, I said to her, I'm actually staying in this hotel for the week, and I would like to eat here. Letting her know, if I'm staying here for the week, 7 days, and this room is $300 a night, I probably can afford whatever y'all have on y'all breakfast menu. That's what I wanted to say. But I just simply said to her, I'm staying here for the week, and I would like to eat here. When I told that heifer that, you know what she said? She said, and oh, another thing, there's a Starbucks across the street, and they have some cheaper breakfast sandwiches too you may want to try. Like, girl, what? Right? I said, can I speak to your manager? And I was so irritated and outdone that day. And so, nonetheless, her manager, he reprimanded her right on the spot. And a couple of hours later, they called up to our room, and the lady had been terminated because she was so out of order. And I wasn't trying to get anybody to lose their job, but it was just ridiculous, right? Anyway, to make a long story short, that's the same thing that happened to me in Minnesota. The only difference is my reaction was different. Because again, I want to say to you all, if it don't fit, don't force it. Like, I had a cousin telling me, girl, so-and-so had a birthday party and I wasn't even invited to it. And I said to her, if you wasn't invited, that means they didn't want you there. And why would you want to be somewhere where they don't want you there? If they wanted you there, they would have invited you there. And that's my message to you all today. If it don't fit, don't force it. If somebody don't invite you to something, boo, it's okay. Don't force it. They don't want you there. If you are in a relationship and your partner is acting like they don't want you, don't force the relationship. Why would you want to be in a relationship where somebody don't want you? And the same thing with my experience. If you go to a business to patronage their business and they don't want your money, why would you want to give them your money in return for their nasty service? Because if they don't want you there, trust me, the service is not going to be top notch anyway. It's going to be some nasty service if they don't want you there. Just like in Minnesota, when they were nasty, guess what we did? That wasn't the only nail shop in Maple Grove, baby. It was 3 nail shops in Maple Grove. We took our little selves right on across the street. We went in. They were nice. They polite. They made us feel welcome. And they gave us very good service. Very good service, right? So my thing is, if it don't fit, don't force it. Just relax and let it go. If that is my message for this Monday morning, you all be blessed and have a beautiful Monday on purpose.